Malta. A comprehensive overview. Malta is a sun-soaked archipelago in the heart of the Mediterranean. It is a jewel of history, culture and natural beauty. With over 300 days of sunshine, crystal clear waters and a rich blend of European and Middle Eastern influences, it is no surprise that Malta is a top holiday destination. Visitors flock to its ancient cities such as Valletta and Medina, explore its UNESCO-listed temples, and enjoy the vibrant nightlife in St. Julian's. Whether diving into its famous Blue Hole, indulging in traditional pastizzi, or soaking in the breathtaking coastal views, Malta offers an unforgettable mix of relaxation, adventure, and history at every turn. Her unique geographical position has made the island a focal point for various civilizations and a pivotal player in global events. In contemporary times, Malta has emerged as a hub for industries like cryptocurrency and gaming, while also grappling with challenges related to governance and infrastructure. This podcast delves into Malta's multifaceted narrative, exploring its history, wartime experiences, economic sectors, governmental issues, geography, economy, and the current state of its roads. Historical background. A quick history catch-up. Malta's history is a chronicle of successive dominations due to its strategic location in the Mediterranean. From the Phoenicians and Romans to the Arabs, Normans, and the Knights of St. John, each has left an indelible mark on the island. The Knights, arriving in 1530, fortified Malta, turning it into a bulwark against Ottoman expansion. Their legacy is evident in the architectural marvels of Valletta, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte seized Malta, but the French rule was short-lived as the British took control in 1800. Malta remained under British rule until gaining independence in 1964. Its colonial past has significantly influenced its administrative structures, legal systems, and cultural orientations, something that is seen even today. World War II and the Siege of Malta. During World War II, Malta's strategic position between Europe and North Africa made it a critical asset for both the Allied and Axis powers. The island became one of the most heavily bombed places on Earth. Between 1940 and 1942, the German Luftwaffe and Italian Regia Aeronautica conducted relentless bombing campaigns, aiming to neutralize Malta's threat to Axis supply lines. According to Wikipedia and my high school history teacher, the capital Valletta and its grand harbour were primary targets and endured over 3,000 bombing raids with approximately 6,700 tons of bombs. The resilience of the Maltese people during this period was remarkable. Despite facing severe shortages of food and supplies, they maintained their defiance, and in recognition of their bravery, King George VI awarded the entire Maltese population the George Cross in 1942. This symbol of valor remains emblazoned on Malta's national flag today. The rise of cryptocurrency and gaming industries. Foreign entities taking advantage of the island continues. In the 21st century, Malta positioned itself as a favorable environment for emerging industries, notably cryptocurrency and online gaming. The government introduced regulatory frameworks aimed at attracting businesses in these sectors. The Malta Gaming Authority, the MGA, was established to oversee online gaming operations, while the enactment of the Virtual Financial Assets Act in 2018 provided clarity for cryptocurrency ventures. These initiatives led to a surge of companies setting up operations in Malta, earning it the moniker Blockchain Island. However, this rapid growth was accompanied by concerns. Reports emerged alleging that the regulatory environment was being exploited for illicit activities, including such crimes as major online scamming, fraud, and money laundering. Investigations revealed that organized crime syndicates had infiltrated the gaming sector, using it as a conduit for these illegal activities. However, many completely legal companies take full advantage of the island. As of recent data, Malta hosts a significant number of businesses within the financial industry. According to Finance Malta, the country has 25 banks, 50 financial institutions, 42 payment providers, and 16 e-money institutions operating within its jurisdiction. Additionally, Dun & Bradstreet lists 74 finance and insurance companies in Malta. Oversight and corruption challenges. Malta's government has faced significant scrutiny over allegations of corruption and governance shortcomings. The assassination of investigative journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia in 2017 brought international attention to these issues. Caruana Galizia had been probing high-level corruption, including the sale of Maltese passport and dubious financial dealings. Subsequent investigations implicated several government officials, and in 2024, former Prime Minister Joseph Muscat was charged with money laundering, fraud, conspiracy, bribery, and corruption related to the privatization of public hospitals. These events have eroded public trust and highlighted the need for comprehensive reforms to restore integrity within Malta's institutions. I visited Malta for the first time in 2018 in an ill-fated and ill-advised attempt to enter into the financial industry via one of the island's many various training academies. While there, I was able to witness firsthand the kind of loophole-finding, let's-make-a-deal approach of governmental oversight that results in the high-flying, Wolf of Wall Street level of living enjoyed by the various employees of foreign companies that have set up offices on the island to take advantage of the government's supportive approach to foreign businesses. I also saw the inevitable effect that this has on the native Maltese people, who have been pushed out of living in the main cities due to rent rises. As the rich come in, the rents go up. The rents go up, and the middle class have to move out and spend more money travelling in. The cycle continues. So, I travelled to Malta initially as a corporate yuppie to get a certificate in insurance and securities, working for one of the largest insurance firms in the world. My initial experience is that the island, which is almost like a frozen in time landscape of beauty and history, is a stark contrast to the work environment offered by these international businesses. Many of these industries are incredibly cutthroat and best suited only for people obsessed with making money, which I will point out there is nothing wrong with. Success is personal and should be encouraged, but it is very clear that Malta not only offers these businesses workarounds when it comes to taxes, allegedly, but also that they can dodge any sort of health and safety regulations with their offices and any real need for HR departments with any of the modern sensitivities one would expect. So that experience, as useful as it was, kind of sucked, but was valuable in a number of ways because it got me into Malta. The island, as I've covered a couple of times previously, is a hotbed for great food. The history and stories there are something that the native Maltese cling to. I also found the religious fervour something to admire. I spent some time staying in Quarmi, a town in Malta renowned for its bread-making tradition and its celebrations. The town is unique in having two patron saints, each associated with a different parish within the town. The original parish, St. George's, venerates St. George, a martyr celebrated for his legendary battle with the dragon. The newer parish, St. Sebastian's, honours St. Sebastian, a Christian saint and martyr who was famously shot with arrows during his persecution. Each parish celebrates its patron saint with an annual fiesta, featuring processions, music and fireworks. The Festa of St. George takes place on the last Sunday in June, while the Festa of St. Sebastian occurs on the third Sunday in July. There is a line across the town which is not crossed during these two separate celebrations. Pick your side well. An interesting point is that the buildings in Malta are richly diverse in their architectural lineage, with Middle East, European and Anglo-Saxon designs, but also many of the residential homes are made for their hot summers, with tiled floors and high ceilings, but the winters in Malta are actually quite cool and can surprise tourists with how cold it gets at night. Also, there are not many beaches in Malta. In fact, where there are beaches, they are almost always man-made or at least man-maintained. The island instead is actually made of limestone, which is easily eroded, and this has formed many unique and beautiful rock pools and lagoons to swim in. But for sunbathers, you're almost always going to be on a rock. But as someone who loves to spend his time under the water, I was spoiled for choice. Geography and economy. Malta comprises three main islands, Malta, Gozo and Comino, covering a total area of 316 square kilometers. The terrain is characterized by low hills with terrace fields, rocky coastlines and a few sandy beaches. The western side of the island features cliffs rising up to 800 feet. Economically, Malta has a diversified portfolio. Tourism remains a cornerstone, with visitors drawn to its historical sites, Mediterranean climate and cultural festivals. The financial services sector has also expanded, as mentioned, and manufacturing, particularly in electronics and pharmaceuticals, contributes to export revenues. However, Malta's economy is not without vulnerabilities. Its reliance on important energy makes it susceptible to global price fluctuations. Additionally, the rapid growth in sectors like real estate has led to concerns about sustainability and environmental degradation. The state of roads and infrastructure. Malta's road network connects all the towns and villages, including a coast road and a panoramic road. Bus services radiating from Valletta provide inexpensive and frequent internal transportation, and taxis and rented vehicles are available on the island. Most families own automobiles, and the number of cars per household is one of the highest in Europe. There is no railway. Ferry services operate between Malta and Gozo, and Malta and Sicily are connected by both ferry and a high-speed catamaran. The driver experience in Malta is something to be witnessed firsthand, although you may not like it. Driving is on the same side of the road as UK, and the similarities end there. It is terrifying to be on the roads with drivers approaching road laws as mere polite suggestions rather than safety measures. Anytime I got into a vehicle in Malta, I was white-knuckled. I was actually quite happy to walk the whole island. The government has recognized these challenges and initiated efforts to improve road safety and infrastructure. A national road safety strategy was launched, emphasizing the importance of road safety inspections and audits. However, enforcement of traffic laws, particularly regarding drink driving, has been assessed as less effective than in other EU countries. Finally, to sum up, Malta is a beautiful island that has a well-earned tourist appeal. As far as the appeal for visitors and travelers, it is a polished gem of an island with such powerful historical and archaeological importance to Europe. If you're more interested in enjoying the sun and the clear waters of the Mediterranean, then it's a perfect spot for water activities, from ferry tours to snorkeling. And the island is small enough that you can get around it in a day. As a business hive, it is bubbling and has a history of making things easy for businesses to set up shop. Not all of them, but many of them. And this sort of flexibility in governmental oversight does mean that it attracts a great deal of well-funded cowboys. But this is not necessarily a bad thing. Competition breeds innovation, and there's been a great deal of that coming off of this island. Food and drink-wise, we haven't really touched on that, but let's just say that I spent many a glorious morning very hungover and very sunburnt in a restaurant. So, my recommendations. You have to visit St. Julian's and check out Hugo's Hotel, the backstory of which we've covered a few times with Lost Executive. I'll make the link available. St. Julian's is home to the nightclub scene, the bars, the restaurants, and the brothels. It is a vibrant and loud spot which always brings together the rich and the randy. Valletta, Mdina, and the three cities are some of the most beautiful cities in the world and protected. You gotta visit them. Most of them you can visit for free. And the ferry trip to Gozo and Comino, definitely worthwhile island escapes. Shows you a completely different style of living. Very fascinating. Further to this, I would suggest you get off the tourist roads and head up a small cafe in a random street. Almost any of them will do, anywhere, and ask for a sandwich or any kind of food you like. The food in Malta is divine, but when you get off the tourist beats, where it's local Maltese making food for local Maltese, it'll change your world. So, that's it for Malta. A short but comprehensive look at the small but important island. If you haven't yet, you should visit. And otherwise, please consider sharing, subscribing and commenting on my show, and please keep getting lost.